gentlemen, please cast your eyes to the screen.
This is not a jersey. This is a portal through which you become a real man. It is always a privilege to wear this jersey and making sure that I leave it in a better state than I found it.
This is not a jersey. This is family. My grandfather played in this jersey. My father played in this jersey. I've been lucky enough to play in this jersey. And maybe one day I'll have a son and he would be able to feel what it means to play in this jersey. This jersey is home. This jersey is family.
This is not a jersey. It's an opportunity to create special memories with friends that become brothers for life.
When you wear this jersey, you represent so much more than just yourself. You represent your family, your school, the legacy of the Sharks brand and the legends that came before you. And most importantly, you represent the brother alongside you on the field. Don this jersey with pride and passion and always play your heart out when you wear it.
The CEO of the Sharks, Dr. Edward Kusia, President of the KwaZulu-Natal Rugby Union, Mr. Brian van Zyl, Deputy President of the KwaZulu-Natal Rugby Union, Dr. Lulu Bodla, Senior Vice President of the KZNRU, Mr. Noel Ingle, members of the KZNRU Executive and Council, headmasters and mistresses, directors of rugby, coaches, parents, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, the young men will be capped this evening. Good evening and welcome to the Sharks Highschools capping ceremony. Tonight is a very special moment in the lives of these young men who will be capped. So enjoy, boys, and savor the moment. Without further ado, I would like to hand over to the President of the KwaZulu-Natal Rugby Union, Mr. Brian van Zyl. Give him a round of applause.
You're a bit taller than I am. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to Hollywood Bet's Kings Park. It's a pleasure to see so many faces here tonight, and particularly, of course, all the boys. But a warm welcome mostly to parents that support them, that I see they're not as many as there were on Monday for the under-13s and the youngsters. But it just shows you that as you get a bit older, of course, you don't need your folks that much. But to all the parents, a warm welcome. And then, of course, a warm welcome to all the boys and every other dignitary that's here. And, of course, to all the coaches, the personnel that are involved with the schools and the schools, the headmasters, etc., who are here. And a very warm welcome to our stadium. This venue is obviously courtesy, and we're sitting here courtesy of the Sharks. So I'd like to say to Edward and his team, thank you very much for allowing us, as the KZNRU, also to be able to host this capping ceremony over here. It's amazing that one would think that in the old days we used to obviously be known as the team that played with the Wildebeest, but as time has changed and we've moved on, we're now known as the Sharks. And for us, it's obviously something that's been granted. It doesn't come lightly. It's an important logo that we wear on our jerseys and on our jackets and all our colors. I think just to go back a little bit in terms of history is that we used to be obviously quite jealous of the Wildebeest, But as you know, time has moved on, and like all other sporting bodies in KwaZulu-Natal, we all now have the Shield. The Shield is important, but we at the Sharks, and at also KZN, you would like to be a little bit different. So that's why we've adopted the Sharks, and we've gratefully been allowed to use them as a logo on our jerseys. I also am well aware that we've got 6 teams that we're capping out today, and they're playing in different venues all over the place. It's testimony to what we as a province are able to achieve. I think from a provincial point of view, and now I'm not talking on behalf of the Sharks, is that we as the KZNRU are the custodian of rugby in our province. And in terms of that, we jealously look at what we can perform, how we perform, with the 5 sub-unions that we administer. And I'm very proud and happy to say that the members of the schools committee that sit on our council perform and add huge value. So those members that are here tonight, I'd just like to say thank you for what you do for the KZNRU during the year. There's not much else that I'm going to say in terms of where we're going for the Curry Cup, but just to say I see some of the team are here, and to wish them luck as they go down to Western Province over the weekend. And we look forward to hosting not only the semi-final here, but the final. So the chaps that are here, I think the pressure's on. So ladies and gentlemen, just to say thank you for being here, and also to the boys, you under pressure, you've got to perform whether you like it or not, and we're looking forward to the results as you play in your various centres and also with the various competitions. So good luck, we wish you well. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
What it means for me to be a man, it means respect your colleagues, your family, coaches, teammates, whoever. Also looking after your family.
Being able to make decisions, tough decisions, hard decisions for you, but also for your family.
Being a man for me is all about respect, to respect my elders, to respect my peers, and always being the best that I can be.
Being able to be responsible for your own actions, caring and being able to take care of your family and friends.
Working, towards what you believe or what you want.
Taking responsibility for actions and facing them head on.
Knowing who you are as a person. Also starting to realize that your childish ways have to go away. You have to not only think about yourself, but think about others around you.
Okay, next to the podium, we will call upon the CEO of the Sharks, Dr. Edward Kutsia. Please come up, sir. Give him a round of applause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. With special mention to the chairman of Sharks Highschools, Mr. Dean Moodley, the chairman of South African Schools Rugby, Mr. Noel Ingle, parents, council members, coaching staff of various teams, and finally, and most importantly, the Sharks schools teams from under 15 to under 18 Craven Week team. It's both a privilege and an honor to be here tonight and spend some time at the home of the Sharks with the next generation of Sharks rugby players. The privilege of standing in front of you, future Sharks and Springboks, at the start of your journey is not lost on myself. Parents, I trust that you will allow me the opportunity to speak directly to your sons tonight. And if my talk feels that it doesn't concern you, parents, then I know I have achieved my goal. Gents, I want and I need to have a chat to you. I've really been grappling while preparing my talk for the high school's capping ceremony with the idea of what makes a good man. I've had it on my heart for a long time to speak to our schoolboys tonight about the role of a man and what we are looking for at the Sharks, in a player and a man, and the behavior and values we expect from a real man when he joins the Sharks family. The journey of masculinity, of a boy becoming a man, has been diluted, emasculated, and at some parts of society even been discarded as toxic and painted in a negative light. You might ask, why has this got anything to do with the schoolboy capping ceremony? The answer is simple. We need the right men with the right values to help the Sharks construct, keep, and maintain the culture we believe is needed for sustainable on-field and off-field success. I believe that there's a direct correlation between success and significance. Should we achieve success on the field, throughout our age groups and pro teams, our impact into our community off the field will be so much more significant. Sporting teams without significance doesn't seem relevant. And sporting teams without on-field success has no right to exist. Hence the need for strong men to drive a culture of success and significance. So what is masculinity? Masculinity in simple terms is the social expectations of being a man. True masculinity is not determined by how much physical strength a man has, but rather the strength of his character. Masculinity is constructed and defined socially, historically and politically, rather than being biologically driven. But masculinity can also have a negative connotation. Toxic masculinity includes aspects of hegemonic masculinity that are socially destructive, such as misogyny, homophobia, greed, and violent domination. So boys, having heard the good and bad of masculinity and being a man, how do we determine a real man and the traits that we're looking for in our players? There's so much confusion currently about manhood in modern society and what the qualities are associated with a real man. So, grant me a few moments to give you an idea of what we're looking for in a real man, a true man. A true man never runs away, but he knows when to walk away. A true man is a winner. He competes against himself. He battles his self-doubt, put into him by a social media post. He fights the anxiety brought about through a senseless comment made by someone in passing that he will never be good enough. He wakes up every day to be victorious against the voice inside his head. In order to go to sleep a better version of the man that woke up that morning. A true man isn't afraid to stand for something. He knows that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. He knows how important it is to respect those who have differing views. Boys, it might take you some time to find out what your values are, but once you do, be sure to hold on to them. A true man respects diversity. He understands that everything and everyone aren't always the same. He realizes he can't fix poverty, inequality, and racism, but through strong relationships and driving inclusivity, he can be an example to a broken world. A true man treats all people with the same level of respect, no matter who they are, the position they hold, or the status and level of success or influence that person has over his life. True men chooses to be kind. Being a physically strong man who plays sport will never ever give you the right to be a bully or treat others badly. A true man has a voice for those with no voice. He protects the weak, he defends the meek, and he stands for justice. True men own their relationships. At a young age, learn to own your relationship. No one can ever take over your personal relationship with your coach, your director of rugby, your house or headmaster. When the chips are down, strong relationships are often what save you. True men are leaders, not by words or by appointment, but through taking action. When everyone stands down, a real man steps up. Be a real man. The world needs more of you. True men aren't scared to show love. They phone their mothers regularly. They hug their fathers and aren't shy to tell family members that they love them. True men are allowed to cry. They cry for injustice, they cry because of inequality, and cry for loss. But then, they dust themselves off and get up and move forward with more courage than ever before. True men hate losing more than they love winning. But with humility understand that sometimes you have to lose a battle to win a war. A true man still opens the car door for a lady, assists elderly people to cross the road, offers his seat up for a granny to sit down, pauses at the entrance to a room for a lady, and at dinner, wait till everyone is seated before he starts to eat. A true man is blessed to be a blessing. He gives freely with no expectation of return and doesn't advertise his kindness for others to praise him. A true man tells the worst truth rather than his best lie. There is no substitute for real people, real community, real conversation, and real connection. A true man checks in with his brothers to see how they're coping with the stresses of life. He understands his best friend's needs and doesn't judge a fellow real man who struggles at times with his emotions. A true man chooses to take risks. This means that sometimes you'll succeed and sometimes you will fail. Success is a fun companion, and a failure is a beautiful teacher. Learn from both. A true man has courage to dance. Dances on the mountain of victory, dances through the valley of broken dreams, and keeps on dancing in the plains of in-between. In good and bad, just keep on dancing. I'd like to leave you with a few lessons I learned on my personal journey from a boy to becoming a man. Number one, don't let anyone ever tell you that you can't achieve something. You can achieve, and you will achieve if you believe. Don't be a victim of a woke society. Go and fight for your dreams. Step up to the plate and give it everything you need to be successful. Success is not a comfortable journey. It wasn't meant to be easy. Become comfortable with being uncomfortable, and you will achieve success. Number two, bravery is not the absence of fear. It is feeling fear, but moving forward anyway. Excitement is often masked as fear. Don't let fear steal your dreams. Own it and be brave. You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Boys, you have to outwork your self-doubt. Number three, if you don't want to be like anyone else and stand out from the pack, you can't do what everyone else does. If you don't want to be average, you can't do average things and adopt average habits. You can't do what the average person does and expect anything else than average. You can't do the same as your friends and expect different results to your friends. If you truly want to be exceptional, you're going to train when they sleep. You're going to eat clean when they eat rubbish. You're going to drink water when they drink alcohol. You have to stand out, not only in your words, but mostly in your actions. Success is lonely, and if it was easy, everyone would have it, and it wouldn't carry any value. Go out and claim your success through your actions. If you don't want to make waves, be normal and fit in. Dress like them, walk like them, act like them, eat like them, go where they go, think like they think, do what they do. And once you've neutralized your uniqueness, you won't need any courage. It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to win. People don't talk about people that don't win. If you win, they're going to talk about you. The only question is, do you have the courage? My last point before I go. In life, I've learned that whenever I needed to stand tall in the face of adversity or a crisis, that is when more than ever I needed to be on my knees. Boys, never forget where your strength comes from. Remember God through the good times, because it is God that will carry you through the tough times. Ephesians 2 verse 10 says, we are his workmanship created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared before him, so we would walk in them. As discussed earlier, trying to fit into society is a solid strategy to live an average life. Boys, just remember none of you are called to be average. God created all of you as his masterpiece, and now we have work to do. Remember how loved you are, and as God's workmanship, the good work starts now. So let's go and live it. Thank you.
Thank you for those wise words. Ed, I hope you were listening, because we're going to do a test later. And you must be able to answer at least one of those questions, otherwise we're out of the team. All right, next up we have the chairman of Sharks Highschools Rugby Association, Mr. Dean Moodley, who will do the vote of thanks. A round of applause for him, please.
Good evening, everyone. An evening of this stature doesn't just happen by itself, and we must be grateful and thankful for what we're about to experience today. The Sharks Highschools Rugby Association extends its appreciation to the President of the KZNRU, Mr. Brian van Zyl, the CEO of the Sharks, Dr. Edward Coetzee, the SA Schools Chairman, Mr. Noel Ingle. The Sharks and the KZNRU have been very good to schools. To give you an example of this, it costs approximately 30,000 Rand to send every single boy seated here to a national week. They cover most of that cost, and we are grateful for that. You boys sitting here, you are the only province in the entire country that gets to play at its home union. Not one other team across this country will play at their home union, and we are grateful for that. The kit that you would receive is the same as any kit that the Sharks get. We are grateful for that. The transport that you will travel in is the best that anybody can provide. The coaches that you have are the best in the province, and we are grateful for that. There's a lot to be grateful for. The KZNRU council members, the KZNRU staff, especially Mrs. Sandra Gutierrez. She's sitting there in the corner. Can you give her a round of applause, please? She spends a lot of time, countless hours, ensuring that everything is up to scratch, that you do get a medium shorts, even though you should be getting a large. And the caps, the certificates, all of that in the front there. She's responsible for that. Ma'am, we are very, very grateful for your help. The Sharks staff, Mr. Mike Horick and Mr. Zola Mazwi. The Sharks players here today, Mr. Mapimpi, Richardson, Fassi, and Duplessis. Now, I know two of them very, very well. First, I'll speak on Mullah Duplessis. I've never seen a human being run that fast. He's the fastest player I've ever seen. And I'm glad that he still has time to come here and share a bit of his time with you today. As for Dylan, I had the pleasure of coaching Dylan. And I'm very proud to see the beast that's sitting in that seat today. Well done, Dylan. The Sharks Highschools Executive Committee. Peppers and Pans for sponsoring the boys' meals here today. All sponsors of the teams, especially DNI, who sponsored the Craven Week camp down at Port Alfred. The conveners of selectors, Mr. Mike Vowles and Mr. Donald Ngwenya. The referees at trials, festivals, provincial fixtures. Speaking about provincial fixtures, that happens next week, Friday and Saturday here at Kings Park. So book that date. To the medical staff, schools play a massive role in schoolboy rugby in this province. They also invest a lot of money and invest in their players. So to the principals, headmasters, directors of rugby, directors of sport, and all schools in the high schools in KZN, we are thankful for their efforts. Last but not least, the parents. Boys, some of you don't understand the many sacrifices that parents make for you to be seated here. From the time you were really small, when you took your first steps, to where you are now. They spent countless hours looking after you, sharing your successes and your lows. I mean, who do you cry for when you get dropped? You go crying to your dad or your mom. Who do you celebrate with when you got picked? Your dad and your mom. So tonight, make sure that you really show appreciation to your parents, because without them, literally, you wouldn't be here. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the proceedings. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now for the moment we've all been waiting for and dreaming of in some cases, the capping ceremony. So what's going to happen is we're going to call out the managements. They will come up, receive their blazers if you don't already have, a tie, etc. And they'll come up, stand here, and then the manager will go and assist Mr. Mudley with the handing out of the certificates, which are beautiful certificates, by the way. The stuff that you frame and put it up, keep it for the rest of your life. And the caps, and the boys will, I will call them up in alphabetical order. You'll come up and you stand on this red line, starting from there, leading all the way across so that we can all fit on the line. Okay, so when you get called up, go to the end. Don't stand there. shake hands there and walk to the end. Okay, we're going to start with the Sharks under 15, Rhino Week. This team goes to the Rhino Week in Vanderbilt Park from the 4th to the 8th of July. So in alphabetical order, will the following boys please come up? And before I call out the boys, I want to call out the management. And let me call them all up first, and then you can clap, and then we'll do the boys, the same with the boys. So the head coach, Cornelia Ngema from Kearsley College. Assistant coach, Sibusiso Ngamani from Michaelhouse. Assistant coach, Burger Nell from Hilton College. And the manager, Neil Duplessis from Ashton International College. Please give them a round of applause. Well done with pride, Mr. Ngema. Well done. Welcome back, Mr. Ngamani. All right, so here we go in alphabetical order. From Michaelhouse, Jack, please, again at the end, please just hold your applause till the last name is called. From Michaelhouse, Jack Comedy. From Hilton College, Benjamin Kutsia. From DHS, Duan Duplessis. From Durban High School, Millie Sutando George. From Westfield Boys High School, Milan Furi. From Hilton College, John Grubb. From Michaelhouse, Oliver Guy. From Durban High School, Liko Kwanza. From Hilton College, Moholi Kuzwayo. From Maritzburg College, Owetu Kosani. From Kearsley College, Lwazi Mbebe. From Kearsley College, Lwandla Mkize. From Westfield Boys High School, Lwandile Mlaba. From Maritzburg College, Enotlolo Mpapa. From Kearsley College, Nhlanhla Ndlovu. From Michaelhouse, Nicholas Salabusis. From Durban High School, Ambesiwe Sipango. From Durban High School, Josh Neyman. From Westfield Boys High School, Buko Sotaka. From Maritzburg College, Rory Stanton. From DHS, Stefan van der Pfeiffer. From Northwood School, Ludi van der Walt. And last but certainly not least, from Northwood School, Jamie Wimble. A round of applause, please. So ladies and gentlemen, while the boys come up, just a house rule, please. There will be opportunity for you to take photographs with your boys later on behind the note post. You'll see there are banners that have been set up where you can take photographs later. Please stay off the playing surface of the field. Thank you. Right, ladies and gentlemen, there they are. Your under 15 Rhino Week team. Give them a round of applause. Right, next up we have the under 16, Sharks under 16 Grand Como Week from the 26th to the 29th of June at Stellenbosch Paul Roos Gymnasium. Management, again, let me announce them all, then you can clap. Head coach from Northwood, Jacques Dean. Assistant coach from Hilton College, Cameron Fraser. Assistant coach from St. Charles College, Mzi Nyati. Manager from Kearsley College, Divesh Suktio. Strength and conditioning coach from Westfield Boys High School, Sebenza Mapumulo. Physiotherapist, I think that's changed, Scott Monroe. And yeah, there they are. Give them a round of applause, please. I think they're waiting for another clap, ladies and gentlemen. In alphabetical order, from Westfield Boys High School, J.D. and Afrikaner. From Hilton College, Andre Boshoff. From Maritzburg College, Cyril Chirai. From Hilton College, Trent Chubb. From Hilton College, Josh Grant. From Westfield Boys High School, David Humphreys. From Clifton College, Clifton School, Asabonga Gianni. From Hilton College, Kazimla Makali. From Michael House, Stefan Moolman. From Glenwood High School, Lizwe Mtetwa. From Hilton College, Liema Nela. From Northwood Schools, Pepelo Nchangase. From Michael House, William Riddle. From Northwood School, Tinaish Ruwana. From Westfield Boys High School, Luandile Similani. From Westfield Boys High School, Liam Simpkins. From Maritzburg College, Lee Ryan Singfontaine. From Westfield Boys High School, Zekatelo Siaya. From Northwood School, Leon Teblanche. From Westfield Boys High School, Lebo Teko. From Durban High School, Joseph Udo Idung. From Hilton College, Zander Foster. And from Maritzburg College, Wasi Viamwera. A round of applause for these boys, please. Okay, just one more round of applause, please, before we call the next team. Now we go on to the Sharks Academy 15. This team is one of two going to the Academy Week from the 3rd to the 6th of July in Johannesburg at the Jeppe School for Boys. Management, head coach from Northwood School, Jeremy McLaren. Assistant coach from Westfield Boys High School, Ntlanhla Blonse. Assistant coach from Durban High School, Lyle Matheson. Manager from Kersney, Terence Boyce. Strength and conditioning coach from Michael House, Prosper Dubazane. Team mentor, Mbilu Saseni. A round of applause for these gentlemen, please. Some of them looking a bit like they put on a bit of weight before they gave the last measurement for the blazer, but that's fine. We've got a few weeks to run it off, guys, before we go to tournament. All right, round of applause for these gentlemen, please. Thank you. In alphabetical order, from Michael House, Murray Baker. From Durban High School, Duncan Basson. From Michael House, Lutando Butelezi. From Northwood School, Graham de Swart. From Hilton College, Ardia Engelbrecht. From Hersley College, Heinrich Fourie. From Durban High School, Daniel Ikotela. From Hilton College, Bonono Jabavu. From Durban High School, Adriano Jackson. From Hilton College, Ben Leroux. From Durban High School, Tando Lutuli. From Northwood School, Ethan Macy. From St. Charles College, Salman Mohammed. From Northwood School, Lutando Makula. From Kersney College, Connor McIntyre. From Westfield Boys High School, Unatim Lochwa. From Durban High School, Unayem Ndao. From DHS, Zenko Simtiane, or rather Florin Okes. From Durban High School. From Northwood School, Ramatuku Skakane. From Durban High School, Kanyisa Stampa. And from Northwood School, Ruben Foss. Give them a round of applause, please. Okay, if I've left anybody out, just checked it. If you haven't been called, you know, in the team, please come forward. So I'm just going according to my list here. I'll have a look now. Sorry, Enzo Van Niekerk, it was written in a dark Dark pass. Sorry, my boy. Enzo Vadikeng, he needs a special round of applause. Sorry, Enzo. Okay, last round of applause for them, please. Thank you. Okay, next up, the Sharks under-17 team, also going to the same academy week. This is under-17 team going to an under-18 tournament, so just keep that in mind. Management, head coach Nasib Abrams from Northwood School, from Kearsley College, assistant coach Neil van Heerden, from Maritzburg College, assistant coach Calvin Elder, from Durban High School, manager Florian Granada, strength and conditioning coach from DHS Rikus de Kooker, physiotherapist from DHS Mark Collier, and the team mentor Mr. Mbilu Saseni. He's a team mentor for both teams. Give him a round of applause, please. So, Mr. Granada, I see you got a blazer already. Mr. Granada? The blazer still fitting okay? Okay, good. Not sure what you're feeding these guys there, Mr. Pinheiro, but struggling with blazers. Okay, round of applause for them again, please. In alphabetical order, from Michael House, Thomas Baguli, from DHS, Akushwa Botswana, from Westfield Boys High School, Ross Calvert, from Kearsley College, Anele Trele, from Westfield Boys High School, Chris Clutie, from Michael House, Luke Davidson, from Glenwood High School, Bongani Dlamini, from Northwood School, Kwenzo Dlamini, from Westfield Boys High School, Joshua Ferreira, from Northwood School, Vuyo Gwiji, from Michael House, Carlisle Hawkins, from Maritzburg College, Jake Jansen, from Kearsley College, Royden Madat, from Durban High School, Sibusiso Mahlangu, from Maritzburg College, Botlale Mapisa, from Maritzburg College, Langelihle Magatini, from Maritzburg College, Swelihle Mbata, from Michael House, Ayabonga Mkokeli, from Westfield Boys High School, Ryan Pasteur, from Michael House, Apiwe Shelembe, from Durban High School, Mahle Sitole, from Maritzburg College, Nkululego Sitole, and lastly from Kearsley College, Cameron Fienstra. A round of applause for these boys, please. Oh, Mr. Genade. Goeie genade. Okay, last round of applause for these boys. Thank you very much. Okay, next up is a KwaZulu-Natal Under-18 Invitational 15 going to the Rates Week at Rates High School from the 26th to the 30th of June. Management for this team, head coach Mpumelelo Zondi from Greytown, from Kloof High School, Ruan van Rensburg, assistant coach, manager from Port Shepstone High School, Agreements Kosana, and the permanent representative from Worth School, Richards Bay, Henny Pretorius. Give those gentlemen a round of applause, please. And then in alphabetical order, from St. Henry's Morris College, James Ackerman. From Durban North College, Alonde Cele. From Kingsway High School, Apelele Dlamini. From Greentown High School, Ayenziwe Gwala. From Empangeni High School, Sizwe Jali. From Grantley, Daniel Kopongo. From John Ross College, Sakelwa Kanyile. From Empangeni High School, Wandile Kaula. From King Edward School, Fezile Jozi. From Port Natal, Henry Low. From Banton Boys High School, Kwanda Mhlongo. From Kingsway High School, Utando Mhlongo. From World School, Richards Bay, Apiwe Mkize. From Empangeni High School, Tandolwe Mkize. From Greytown High School, Tamsangwa Ngubane. From Kloof High School, Timbale Tunzama. From World School, Richards Bay, Jean-Ray Pretorius. From Kusvach, Aiden Rath. From Greytown High School, Asanda Khatebe. From World School, Richards Bay, Franco Stoltz. From Karo Salt Rock, Damien van As. From Dundee High School, Handro van Sale. And from Kloof High School, Nicholas Walker. A round of applause for these gentlemen, please. Let's hear it from the people that are saying, that's my boy. Can you make it a bit louder, please? That's it. That's what we're looking for. One more round of applause for these boys and for the fans on that side. Thank you very much. And now we come to the under-18 Craven Week team. This team is going to play in the tournament. The Craven Week is going to be held in George at Outeniqua High School from the 3rd to the 8th of July. Management are as follows. From Westport Boys High School, head coach Dusty Noble. From Westport Boys High School, assistant coach Njabulo Zulu. From Maritzburg College, assistant coach Tim Orchard. From Durban High School, manager Sia Dubazane. From Westport Boys High School, strength and conditioning coach Zander Erasmus. Physiotherapist from Kersney, Mr. Grant Daniels. Okay, I think the guys are jumping from there just now. Okay. And then from the Sharks, the team mentor, Lwazi Mvovo. A round of applause for these gentlemen, please. And then in alphabetical order, from Maritzburg College, Aidan Buerta. From Durban High School, Christian Everett. From St. Charles College, Matthew Fick. From Kersney College, Cecil France. From Hilton College, Christopher Horek. From Maritzburg College, Sasha Kadira. From Maritzburg College, Piwang Yunkosi Kubeka. From Hilton College, Akona Kunene. From Maritzburg College, Luyanda Kunene. From Glenwood High School, Litemba Mfupi. From Michael House, Wandile Mlaba. From Maritzburg College, Albi Mouton. From DHS, Vierich Besson. From Westfield Boys High School, Siabonga Ndlozi. From Durban High School, Simpiwe Ngobese. From Durban High School, Hopewell Nchangase. From Hilton College, Hanu Peterse. From Michael House, Campbell Riddle. From Durban High School, Zingle Simka. From Glenwood High School, Liam Tablanche. From Kersley College, Devon van der Walt. From Hilton College, Luke Watt. And from Glenwood High School, Jaco Williams. A round of applause for these gentlemen. Okay, one more round of applause for these gentlemen. This is your Craven Week side. I'm sure you can do better than that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we move on to the next segment of this evening. It's a question and answer session, which will be conducted by Mr. Zola Mazwi, who is the Sharks' Junior High Performance Manager. And the Sharks will be joining us on stage. Makazole Mampimpi, Apelele Fasi, Dylan Richardson, and Muller Duplessis. Please give them a round of applause. Make them feel very welcome. Make them feel very welcome, and I'll hand over to Mr. Mazwi. Another round of applause, please. Look how smart they're looking.
Oh, jeez.
All right. I think this is more of a relaxed item, this next one here. But I will say all protocol observed. Does that sound good? All right. Good evening, everyone. As you've heard from Mr. Pius, Zola Mazwi is the name. And I run a program called New Generation Sharks. So today speaks directly to me to see these boys we've been working with since October last year, after the youth weeks that we had, that are now the final teams we're going to be sending to the youth weeks. On my side, I wish you guys well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the results, hopefully better than last year, because I think we did very well last year. So good luck, gents, good luck, coaches. Okay, and then on stage here with me, from the left, and I did a primary school's Q&A on Monday, and I asked the boys to ask players questions, and one of the boys got up and said, I'd like to ask a question to that's sitting there. I'm hoping that you guys know your Sharks rugby players, and hopefully you're all Sharks rugby fans. So I will, if you're not, there's a pool on the north there, we might drown you. You're in a shark tank here. Yeah, to start off, Dylan Richardson, which all of you hopefully do know. I'll ask a few questions to the players, then I'll open it up to you guys, and I'll ask the boys, I'll ask some parents. I can see you, Mr. Ryan Kyle, up there, so please start thinking, boys, start thinking about the questions you're going to ask, and hopefully they're very wise ones. Okay, Dill, just if you can tell us about your rugby journey. You know, I think you probably have played every schoolboy provincial team in KZN. Can you just tell everyone about your journey starting from under 13 all the way through to matric and where you are today?
Yeah, is this thing on?
Lekker, tops. So I started from under 12 KZN, under 13 KZN, where I was with Zola. And I've had some amazing coaches in my time. I saw Mr. McLaren earlier. So it was a great journey for me. And being part of KZN, I think, was really, really special for me. And I was fortunate enough to make every team all the way through onto SA schools. I absolutely loved it. I loved playing with my mates. Majority of the under 18 boys, I think there's still a lot of us left from that Craven Week team who are still playing professional rugby now. And it was just great to see, because lots of the times boys can fall out. And I think, the team that we created that year made it really special for us. And a lot of those boys today are still playing. So I think just remember, for you guys who are going to go on and play in these weeks, it's about what the team achieves. And ultimately that will lead to your success as well.
Thanks, Dill. Dill did mention that I coached him at under 13. Let's just go back to that year.
No, special year.
Special year, our captain, and the biggest player in the team. Hard work got you that body where you are now, am I right?
No, definitely.
Okay, anyway, I'll move on. I'll leave you, Dylan, otherwise we'll go back. Fasi, mnanomquba.
Yep.
Khawusithathe usibeke ngoyakho ijeni mfowethu. Just tell us your journey. Obviously from Border, and tell us the journey you had there and how you ended up at the Sharks.
Good evening, everyone. I think my journey obviously started back in the Eastern Cape, playing for a school called Dale College. Played Craven Week. I think 2016 got the privilege, to be recognized by the Sharks Academy, even though Ed thought I was a lock at that stage. Came out 2018 under a coach called Dick Muir, giving me the opportunity to play, Currie Cup at such a young age. And, I think since then I just wanted, obviously, greater things towards my life. And, with what I've achieved now, I'm very grateful for the coaches that I've been surrounded by, and obviously the organization itself.
Thanks, Weekend Special. All right, Muller, vertel ons jou verdedigen van school en jy was op Parelgym en jy het Craven Week gespeel. Kan jy asseblief allemaal vertel?
Goeienaand almal. Ek hou baie van Afrikaans, baie solid. Ek was in Parelgym gewees 2017, 2018 en was die voorreg gewees om Craven Week te gaan speel het. Ek dink as elke seun se droom is om Craven Week te speel en hier sit julle manne hierso. Wat 'n voorreg is dit om julle talente te gaan uitleef en just to switch back to English, I think there's a lot of English people as well to understand. But I think for me, Craven Week was a special. We played Craven Week my first year here in Durban. We actually won the Craven Week. It was an amazing experience. Some guys, Damian Willems, who would know, played with him. And then my second year we actually lost. But straight after school, got the opportunity to join the Sevens and actually at the Sharks as well. But I think, getting to the Sevens, I actually thought I made the wrong decision after the first fitness session. So, but I learned so much. I think one of the things that we learned is that, the Sevens is always going to be there. The rugby union is always going to be there, but you will be gone. So leave the place in a better position than you got it before the time. So don't play for yourself, play for the crowd of one, and that's your savior, our God, and who's given us the talent. So just a privilege to be at the Sharks. I actually played against Dylan. Now playing with him shows what rugby is. Thanks for having us here.
Dankie Muller. No, ek probeer praat. I enjoy when I do these to, try and mix it up because, I think especially with us here in KZN, we're very blessed to be a nice potjie, am I right? We've got people from different cultures. Zikhali, size kuwe ngokudada.
Yeah.
Buda kawuxelele man ezintwana uxelele nabazali no coach. Awudlalanga iCraven Week wena, awudlalanga any provincial rugby. Kodwa you are a World Cup winner and you are a Sharks senior player. Kobalisa Zikhali.
Good evening to everyone. Good to see you here at the tank. I think we can spend 2 hours explaining myself. But yeah, I didn't play Trevenwick, but I did try my best to be involved, but unfortunately, I didn't make it. It's not because I wasn't good. It's not, but it's just like the place that I was, which is the village, so it's a long way to go, I think you have to trial like 20 times, and then you try with someone who tried twice, and then someone is going to be in a team, but it's another story, another day, yeah. So I didn't play Trevenwick, as I was saying right now, it's because of the up and downs that I did, which is, it's kind of like I was far from the system as well. I was too far from everything, and most of the time I'd miss the transport, go to the trials, all this stuff, Yeah, but summer, I think I did manage to be back in the track, going via Club Rugby, which is in Tanzania, Sunday League. I think most of the boys from Eastern Cape know what Sunday League look like, which is a tough league. As also, it's a vibe thing. You enjoy a lot when you're watching. There's a lot of talent, Go via there, and then Tanzania, Club Rugby. And then after Club Rugby, I was lucky enough to be part of the squad, which is Border, since 2014. Yeah, 14, 13, something like that. But I was involved in the Border squad. I think I was, probably you guys know, when you're holding the bags all the time, people blasting you, people tackling you every single time, but you don't get the chance to be in the team. But I was happy because I saw a lot of things that happen in front of me, which is gaining experience, see people how to talk, see people training hard at it sometimes. So that was my lesson at the time, and my breakthrough, which is Super Rugby, was 2017 in Southern Kings. All of the stuff started there.
Thank you, Zikhali. And I actually asked that question because I know there's some young men here who are picked in an 16B team and an 15B team that have not made it this year. So don't give up all hope. There's always, if you work hard, there's always a prize at the end. You haven't made it as under 15 or under 16. You still got another 3-4 more years that you need to push and work hard, and maybe next year you'll be sitting here being kept. So never give up, gents. Okay, coming back to you, Dill. Your favorite coach? And just think very deeply on this one.
I'm assuming you want me to say you.
Your favorite coach that you've ever had in your rugby career?
Yo, it's tough. I've had so many coaches who have had like a really big impact on me in my personal life and in rugby. Obviously, I've had Mr. Mudley, that all of you know. I've had Coach McLaren, but I think, definitely the coach who had the most impact on me in my life and through my rugby career has to go to Coach Sean. Sean Everett. He got me at the stage straight after school where you really have to learn a lot coming into professional rugby. It's a big step from schoolboy rugby to professional level, and I think that Coach Sean is just absolutely amazing in every aspect, and he really, really helped me, not just on the rugby field, but in person as well. So
So I'm below Mr. Dean Moodley and below Jeremy McLaren. Anyway, well done to Sean, I think is here. Sean Everett? He's a father now, a Cravenhook father. Cheers, Sean. Okay, moving to you, Muller. Must I speak Afrikaans again? Okay, no, I'll stick to English now. But I did Afrikaans standard grade in metric. Muller, you joined the Sharks junior rugby, and then you moved on to sevens, and now you're back at the Sharks. And also, I just want to hear more, if maybe are you studying at all in that journey? Any studies yet, or looking later? Because I know it gets very busy. As a rugby player who turns professional very early, it becomes tough to study. Just your journey from Paarlgem to Durban to sevens back to Durban.
Yeah, so I didn't study at the moment. I'm studying, but I'm definitely looking to study something here at the Sharks because they provide lots of opportunities for us here to do some stuff. But I think for me it was to see what I love. I didn't want to run into something just immediately. So I have a passion for business and actually started my own business with my brother in Stellenbosch. So because rugby it's not forever. It's a short career. Time goes by so quick, and you're gonna have to provide for your family. And you don't know how many years you'll play. Injury can happen anytime. So Stellenbosch is where I played sevens. We were based there in Stellenbosch. The sevens is really an awesome culture. Learned so much about values and who you are as a person, who you are when you're losing. The character comes out, and it just shows you, on our jerseys we had something that says inspire hope. It's not to play for yourself, it's to inspire hope. And before we went on tour, there was a standard that we had to make with our fitness test, and to make that fitness test, you had to run until you red, and then you can tour the weekend. You go on tour, and a lot of the guys didn't make it, and they would cry because they weren't able to go on tour. But just that taught me that there is a certain standard, and your mind is a limit, puts a limit to your body until you reach a new standard, and then you adapt. And for me, it's just to get advice to you guys is never lower your standard, keep your standards high. Even in an environment where the guys drop their standards, always keep your standards high, because you're not doing it for yourself, but you have a talent that you have to look after. And I always say one of my quotes is, talent is God's gift to you, and what you do with your talent is your gift back to God.
Thank you for that, Mullah. Weekend special. Just a bit of background in terms of Craven Week. Do you have memories of yourself playing there? Did you play there? Where did you play? And any guys you played against and friends that maybe you still keep from back those days?
I played fullback for Craven Week 2016. I think like Mula said the other time, I think I saw him there, Damien Willemsa, Samu Murad, Dylan, Sanel Amba. Obviously there's still some guys that I still play with, that are still in the team, even today. For me, I think Craven Week was a big opportunity for me, from a guy coming from, I think from the Eastern Cape. I know obviously Dell is quite a big school, but just for me personally, it was quite an achievement, for me it was quite a disappointment. Obviously everyone wants to make it to the top in terms of ACES schools, how you, as young fellas sitting in front of me, yeah, but one thing I told myself that, you know, with the opportunity that I've been given, you know, obviously the year earlier, you know, I have to prove myself and showcase my talent towards the Sharks. And yeah, I think with hard work and determination, you know, the results came my way, and yeah, still pushing for more.
No, all the best, Mdanangos. It's World Cup, yeah. Keep working, keep working. Comment ça va, ma pimpi? Ça va et toi? Direx, masteta mange World Cup. Kaocho data. Sizoyi defender le ndebe ka 2019. Siyayifuna webele sibuye nayo. Costa to back.
Yeah, I think there is a chance. Also, there's no pressure. There's a work that we have to do. I think a squad, whatever, who's gonna be in the mix, and also I think the boys gonna need the support from South Africa. Same thing South Africa that did last time, which was good. Yeah, man, I think we do have a chance. I don't know, to prove ourselves also. I think it can be something good for us as well as a South African to win the World Cup back-to-back. So it's an opportunity for a lot of players, a lot of coaches, a lot of management.
Dango. I think we all believe that we can, defend the cup. Am I right? Okay, there's your backing, Magazola. Please take it to the team and tell them that we're bringing it home. Okay, I think it's an opportunity now to ask, boys, I told you earlier on, you heard that there's going to be a test. So let's hear who's got a very good question, and you can put your hand up. I'll point to you, and you tell me who your question is addressed to, and you have to stand up. I'm a former schoolmaster, by the way. So, yeah, remember your manners. Okay, boys, put your hands up if you've got a question. And I know you're shy and you're going through puberty. I'll point, I know all of you, fortunately, so I'll point directly to you. And I need you to have a question in mind. So don't let me point you out. Rather, stand up and ask now if you want to ask something. Okay, no one is asking. Okay, Jake Jensen. Stand up. And I know there's one forward here, and I'm sure you're going to give it to the forward. You can speak nice and loud, ask a question, please, Jake. Okay, sit down, Jake. Sit. Wandile Mlaba, stand up. Let's hear your question.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I think I'm gonna speak about me personally. I think it's being able to adapt and be able to tell yourself you want to learn. I think the biggest thing that I had as a schoolboy rugby player was, you think that you're the greatest at that time, but when you come into an environment where there's like 4 guys that have over 100 caps, and you don't have any, the sense of respect that you have for them and the ability for you to want to learn. I think that's one thing that, as a schoolboy rugby player, getting drafted into a professional setup is one thing that you should have.
Thank you, Fasi. And then one more question from Duan Duplessis.
What does it take to be on the level that you are today, and how did you get there?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think for me personally, one of the biggest things I struggled with was patience. You know, I'm the type of player that always wants things now, wants to do it now, wants to play now. And I can't stand it if I'm not picked, and I can't stand it if I'm not playing. So I think the hardest thing for me to learn was patience. You know, when you come into a professional setup, it's a very different type of thing to schoolboy rugby. And you need to learn patience because your time will come, but it's about putting in the work and getting the experience before you get there. Yeah, so for my personal experience, when I had my first Super Rugby cap here when I was 20, and then going on to Super Rugby tour when we went to Australia, and all of a sudden it was COVID, and I just had such a build-up of frustration because I couldn't get game time, I couldn't play, and there's nothing you can do. But yeah, I think the biggest thing for my own personal experience is just patience.
Thanks, Dil. I think I've got a space for one more boy. Come on. Siyaya, Zaketelo. Kautete, nangu fast, teta naib. Kaubuzi fullback, teta nanzinyi fullback. Up you get. Ngokul Mzulu ngasabu George Mayo ngokul Mzulu. Nella, help your teammate.
Yeah, that's a good question. I get asked that a lot. Is there a big difference between 15s and 7s? And there is definitely a difference. Yeah, so the first thing would be obviously the space. There's not a lot of space at 15s, where 7s is a lot of space, which is nice. You can attack. And yeah, so the defense structure is also different in 7s. You would think that 7s is just, there's no structure, but there's actually a lot of structure that goes into playing, because there's so much space and there's only 7 guys defending in that whole field. So there's a lot of structure that you have in 7s, where in 15s it's a different structure as well. I would say it is difficult to transfer between the two, to jump between the two. I did that for about three years, and I found it difficult because at 7s, just physicality is different at 15s than it is at 7s. So at 15s, you want to be a little bit stronger, heavier a little bit. Where at 7s, you want to be more mobile, fast, agile. So yeah, it's fun to do both. I loved 7s, but growing up as a boy, it's always been my dream to play 15s, and that's my passion.
Bye, Danke Muller. Okay, I think it's time for the parents now. So parents, I think I would expect parents to have their hand up. Then I can point towards you, but I also know your names too, so I might have to go directly. I've got 2 questions for parents. I know the boys are hungry. They need to go and eat now. Parents, anyone with a question, you can put your hand up. I'll put towards you. If not, I'll point at someone. Right, Mr. Salamausis. Can you stand up? I know there's no front row here, and you probably want to hear about front row advice for your son, but you are welcome to ask any question. All right, thank you, sir. No, you may sit. Is there a hand up there? Florian, you got a hand up? You can stand up. Form.
Oh, form.
When you're off form, how do you deal with bad form and working to get back to the top? Isn't that?
Yeah, obviously you go back to the drawing board. You know, I think you isolate the things that that are going wrong in your game, but never forgetting the good stuff that you do. I think there's one thing as players that we focus more on the negative than the positive. You know, so I think the best thing is just putting in the hard work where you're lacking, and then once you see the growth in that, and just keep on making it your strength.
Thank you for that, Fasi. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up from the podium here, and I would like you guys to give the players a round of applause again. And I'm going to hand over back to Mr. Pius to wrap it up. But before I sit down, I just want to ask, while I've got an opportunity to be here, as you see how much the Sharks are doing in giving our schools the platform, that we have, all the support from the Sharks, we're asking one thing from you in return, to please back us. Okay, when I say back us, we are looking for the boys to finish matric and hopefully stay in KZN. And yes, we don't have everything to offer to you guys, but give us a chance, all right? I promise you I get very sad when I hear a boy is going to leave and go to the Bulls or to Western Province instead of staying at the Sharks, because we're investing so much in you, and we're hoping to at least have something back from you. And another thing I want to add, which we didn't speak with the players this morning, I had a 17-minute voice note from a former rugby player. Well, he's still playing rugby now in Namibia, asking for help. And that help he's asking because he never studied after matric. He just put all his eggs in one basket. Gents, I know it's exams right now. And yes, some of you are thinking, oh, geez, all boys weekend on this and that. You need to study. Put your time into your studies, all right? And after school, make sure you continue studying. Because if you have a piece of paper, when your rugby career ends, you can go and get a job, hopefully. I know it's tough getting jobs too, but at least if you have a piece of paper in your qualification, you've got a better opportunity in life. And you guys will know a guy that took his life that was at one of our schools here because he lost his contract. And I don't want anyone sitting here to say one day, I gave up, I was not told. Okay, I'm actually shaking talking about this. Make sure you study after school and you enjoy your rugby too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zola. Another round of applause for the Sharks players and Mr. Zola Mazwi. Afrikaans is niet te sleg hier, maar bietjie werk daaraan, Zola. Okay, so here's the plan, ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to do is the boys are going to go, we're going to do the row by row with their managers, and they're going to walk through where the gentleman is standing along the boardwalk to the end where the gentleman is standing at the end there, the white lights. There's a dining room that you're going to go in there, and you're going to have your meals there. And you'll see on this side is where the parents and the guests are going to be. We please want you not to come onto this side. Stay where you are, finish, have your food, and then when you're called, you can come to the banners and take your photographs. So I'm going to ask the first two rows to stand up, please, with their managers. Here in the front, not the back, the first two. Up you get, and off you go. Walk along the boardwalk to the very end, where you're going to have your meal. The parents, please, I ask your patience. Just hang on till the boys have left. All right, off you go, boys. Thank you.